let's look at scenario 10. Now we've got a new event. And the new event is that, well, let's take a look back at what the scenario 10 was, and then we'll look at what the new event was. Now, I'm going to tell you up front that I have a difference of opinion than what's showing in your example calculations. So I'm going to give you what my opinion is. I'm going to give you what they are saying is. And, you know, maybe we could, if someone convinces me otherwise, I'll change this, this presentation. But let's begin with what happened before this new event. And that was that Andrew had a 60% mineral interest in 660 acres. And so Andrew conveyed his interest to, rather he leased it to Oilco. So for 1/16 royalty interest, it said. Okay, so A had 60%. They leased it. That means they gave Oilco their 60% working interest. Then what happened on May 1st, 2003, Oilco grants an assignment to X company. The assignment conveys 40% of all right, title, and interest in Andrew's lease. In the assignment, Oilco and X company define working interest as follows: the obligation to pay expenses. So what's happening now is that Oilco, with its 60% working interest, assigns 40% to to X company. So right now, the interest is going to be, they had 60%, they conveyed 40%, 60 minus 40 is 20%. So X company is going to get this 40% that they conveyed. And that's going to leave oil company with 20% working interest. So there was a 60% mineral interest. When he granted a lease, he gave that mineral interest to Oilco. So they had a 60% working interest. Oilco assigns 40% to X company. And X company ends up with 40% and Oilco ends up with 20%. So let's look at problems 24, 25, and 26. And these three problems all relate to what should be an X's computer system for maintaining the lease. How should that computer system list X's, first of all, gross acres in the lease? Well, the gross acres in the lease really doesn't change. It was 60 acres. It still is 60 acres. What is X's computer system? How should it list X's working interest in the lease? Well, the working interest is going to be this 40%. And then what is the lessor's mineral interest? It was 60%. It still is 60%. That does not change. Then for problems 27, 28, and 29, we're going to look at Oilco's computer system and what they should have in that system in order to maintain their leases. First of all, what is the gross acres in the lease? Well, again, that doesn't change. The gross acres in the lease is 60 acres. What is Oilco's working interest in the lease? Well, at one time it was 60%, but then they conveyed it 40% to X company. So Oilco's working interest in the lease right now is really 20%. Now, your answer says it is 60%. And that may be true before the assignment, but after the assignment, their interest is reduced to 20%. And then the lessor's mineral interest, same thing, does not change, 60% mineral interest. So if you're looking at the problems on your example sheet, problem 24, gross acres in the lease, is going to be 60 acres. I'm sorry, gross acre in the lease is going to be A. Boop. And then 25 is going to be 40%, which they don't give us that option, so that answer is going to be E. And then problem 26, X's computer system, mineral interest is B, 60%. Now, problem 27, 28, and 29, that has to do with oil co. So problem 27 is 60 acres. That is A. Problem 28 is the answer they have is A, which is this 60%. I really think the answer should be E because 20% isn't listed. But that is the question mark right there. And then 29, Oil Co's computer system should list their lessor's mineral interest as 60%, and that is B. So now let's go on to the final two problems under scenario 10, problem 30 and problem 31.